Y'all gotta pardon my taste. Hold up. Y'all can't talk about basic. Hold up. We might have more Power Rangers. Hold up. Y'all talk outrageous. Hold up. Don't get caught in the matrix. Hold up. Got that touch of my savior. Hold up. Give me that touch of my haters. I give it all away. You're like my reason for life when my dreams seem so far away. You give me more than I don't face. I don't wanna go to war. You don't wanna give me peace. I can never leave you alone, even when I'm overseas. If I gotta do a show, you coming with me. Baby girl, you a prime time. I don't care if everybody sees. Couple weeks I had to leave.
With its distinctive swimming pools in the upper deck, there's a look inside Everbank Stadium here in Duuval County, Florida. But tonight we kick off Week 13 with a great Thursday night matchup, as it'll be the New York Jets taking on the Jacksonville Jaguars. About set to begin another week of football, and happy to have you along. We are underway on Thursday night primetime. And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. At their own 21-yard line. They'll run. This is Bashal Tootin. Knifes his way forward here, but just 3 yards on the play. Second down. You talk about this Jets defense. They find themselves just outside the top 10 in the league against the pass, currently bringing up the number 11 spot.
I think if you talk to their head coach, you'll get a nice answer about how much he likes his team and what they're doing. But at the end of it, he would admit there's definitely room to improve.
They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24.
13 loose. All right, let's go. Take right up.
Looking to throw, Lawrence. He'll get this out to Tootin. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. That one a first down pickup of 8. The Jaguars at 7-4 on the year. And they coming on a pretty good roll here. Winners of 3 straight.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
They'll try and set up the screen to Tootin. They'll get 4 there out of the screen, and it's 2nd down.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
At the 36-yard line. They'll work from the 36 on 2nd and 6. And here's a handoff out of the gun. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
Couple of first downs to kick off the drive. Here's 1st and 10 up at the 46. One back in the backfield. He'll get the carry. And a good physical run that time. He's going to wind up gaining 5 on that one.
Oh, that was a thing of beauty right there. Look at how quick those blockers fired off the line once the ball was snapped. That was an O-line on a mission, all in sync, and the defense is lucky that play only picked up 5 yards.
Here's a 2nd and 5. From the gun, he'll hand this off. And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down. You talk about this Jets defense, and they find themselves just outside the top 10 in the league against the pass, currently bringing up the number 11 spot.
And since this is such a good unit of covering passes downfield, I think that last play is typical of what we might see. A lot of short passes, see if they can generate some run after the catch, but nothing doing on that one.
Hey, 11, 11.
A short throw pulled in by Woods. And he won't get to the marker. He's a yard short. A pickup of 3. It leaves him with 4th and 1. And now a decision here on the opening drive. 4th and very short, this part of the field. What do you think they do, CD?
I think you go for it. I think there's a lot of game left to be played. I like the advantage that they're trying to create here early. I say be aggressive and try and get it done.
And on their first drive, the offense staying out there. They're going to go for it on 4th. And they'll try and throw forward with Lawrence. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. And the drive stays in motion with a nice 8-yard pickup on 4th. So the 4th down conversion has it inside the 40 now, 1st and 10. And tough sledding. He'll get maybe a yard. Stop short of the 35.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
Line of scrimmage, the 36 on 2nd and 8.
Hey, Lion. Son, this is hot. 11, 11. Hot.
Now Lawrence. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Not a great start dropping his first target, but let's face it, it won't be his last chance because he'll get opportunities to make up for that one throughout this game.
It's been a pretty long opening drive. This will be play number 11 coming up on 3rd down.
Hey, tomato. Done. Sink right. Here we go.
They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he will have a Jaguars 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Solid opening drive so far, Charles. They've moved this football into field goal range, but you know that they want to cap this off with 6 and not 3.
Absolutely. As one of the better coaches in the league always tells me, on offense, I want their body blows all game long and finish it with uppercuts. Well, here are the body blows right now. He's hoping one uppercut will take care of the end of this drive.
Oh, and this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it, and it's 2nd down.
It certainly looks like they still have some fight in them on this series because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But if this defense gets 2 more stops, they can keep them out of that area.
Yeah, nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Officially nothing on that one, no gain, so they're left with still 10 to go on 3rd down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
He's got his target. That's complete. And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. Jelani Woods, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Jags will claim the early lead as they're on the board first here tonight. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. Looking to put a drive together. They'll start on the ground. Hall. And he stopped immediately there. Tackled on the play by Kyer Elam.
Brandon, to me, what's important right here on this drive is for them to get at least 2 first downs. They've got to give their defense a chance to settle down, catch their breath a little bit after they give up a touchdown on the opening drive.
Here we go. Go.
2nd and 9 now. This is Smith with the ground. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 17 yards for the Jets there as they've got themselves a first down. On 1st and 10, it's Hall. So a loss of 5, and it'll be 2nd down. Moving backwards on 1st down, never a good thing. What does that do for the mindset on 2nd down?
Well, it changes your play call, definitely, because as a play call, you're advancing yourself thinking, okay, we're going to get a gain here. Now you've got to go back in reverse, come up with something to pick up not just the yardage lost, but gain a few extra.
After 7-0 on EA Sports. Second and 15. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And they'll be facing a 3rd and 12.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he get a good head of steam going.
That's caught at the 25. And this will get him all the way inside of Jacksonville's 10. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
1st and goal at the 9-yard line.
Now back to throw. Touchdown! Arian Smith, a 9-yard touchdown grab. And the Jets are an extra point away from evening this one up. He was on point throwing the ball right there. He had the big play to get him down close, and then he delivers a touchdown pass on 1st and goal.
And you mentioned the big play that got him down close. I think that big play left them reeling a little bit. They didn't recover from it. And you know, they always talk about having to have a short memory on defense after a big play against you. Looks like their memory was a little too long there.
Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. Now Robinson coughs up the football. It's loose. And the Jets have recovered. And careless with a football there on the kick return.
And one thing I love about going to practices is trying to get around coaches and hear their catchphrases and what they really emphasize. We haven't been to a single one yet this year where a guy fielding a kick, you don't hear, tuck it away, tuck it away, tuck it away. And this time, they turned it over.
Security eluded him. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. They'll go again with Hall. They'll be brought down at the 21 after
after a pickup of 4.
Not a ton of room available on that one, but he made use of what space was available and gained decent yardage.
Let's go now. Cowboy 80. 19 tight. 19 tight.
The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Well, good field position to start the drive, but under the gun now here on 3rd and 8.
70 Lions.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Over the middle, and there's a diving catch.
First and goal, New York.
They'll run with Hall. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
No daylight for him to run through there, and he ran into the defensive tackle, and that guy blocks a whole lot of daylight as it is. He is truly a big man who just made a big play.
One more time with Hall. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. This would be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming.
On goal-to-goal runs, when you create lost yardage plays, the only way that happens is either called pressure or what I like to call straight-ahead pursuit. A great read, and they get to the backfield and make the play.
And he'll go down, brought down at the 20-yard line. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. Bates' kick is good. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
And with a well-placed kickoff, that's what these new rules can do for you, as he'll be backed up to start this drive.
Well, not exactly a banner return, so he doesn't give his offense a whole lot of room to work with. They've got to go a long way now to try and score some points. I do know this from experience. There will be a few comments muttered his way by the offense as they head out on the field.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Big 13 have it. Hey. Hey, kill. Hey, kill. 30 left.
Lawrence from his end zone. And this throw incomplete. And the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to 3rd down.
Normally being a big-bodied receiver plays to their advantage downfield. Go up and make the catch, take the hit, and pick up yardage. But in this case, the hit was timed really well and popped it free from his grasp.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13. To throw from his end zone, Lawrence. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
And that is how you respond after taking one on the chin to begin this game. Give up a first drive touchdown, go back out on defense, and completely shut them down to force a 3 and out.
That's taken it around the 40. An excellent return that time, 26 yards. And the Jets will have a short field to work with as they take over 1st and 10.
Let's go now.
Straight ahead is Hall. 14 yards is the pickup there, and a Jet 1st down.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at him and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense, and on that go-around, the offense won the challenge. It's going to be a nice pickup, but he also takes a pretty good lick at the end of that one. Now 2nd and 3. They'll look to throw here. And it's tight end. That's complete. It's Taylor. And the Jets are going to be set up with a 1st and goal coming up as they get him down at the 6-yard line.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Go Panther 60, Panther 60. 19 Tiger, 19 Tiger.
Paul want to give up the middle. And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Now they send a running back in motion right. Now, and he's going to take it in for a Jets touchdown. Taking it in from 4 yards out. And they are able to add on to their advantage.
If you're going to play quarterback in the NFL, you've got to have great vision, and you've got to remain calm when things break down in the pocket. Both of those traits are on display there. He surveys the situation, sees the middle of the field open, so he's just going to step up and take it himself. Very well done there.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this return going to come to a quick end as he is belted at the end of that one.
26-yard line.
The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp, and at least one practice each week before.
And it's intercepted. And the Jets are going to get it back here just shy of the 20.
They'll take over 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And not an abundance of time remains on the clock, Charles, but you would think more than enough to try to extend this lead before intermission.
And when you're talking about extending the lead, I think you're talking about aiming for the end zone because there is plenty of time for that. The fallback is to get 3. But in your mind, you put 6 on the board right before the half. That's a heck of a dagger and great momentum to carry into the locker room.
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. So they come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
1st down. A gain of 22 yards. 1st down, New York.
They'll drop to throw. And incomplete on the deep ball.
And that's where you're counting on a receiver's size being an advantage. They were hoping he could go to the top of a smaller DB and haul that one in. A good thought, but that time it didn't work out.
19 tight, 19 tight. 60 Bison, 60 Bison.
Again, he'll drop to throw. And that one too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
What would look like a march to the end zone has hit a momentary roadblock with that incompletion. No need to panic. They just got to come up with a high percentage play call and see if they can get their offense back on track.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10.
Hawk 70, Hawk 70.
Back to throw again. They'll set up the screen for Hall. Now the Jags will use the 2nd of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this 1st half. And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. And that will open the lead up now to 20-7. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
The Jaguars take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive.
Let's go.
And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this. And this will be caught at the 30. And they finally do get him, but not before he reaches the 27.
1st and 10 at the 27-yard line.
11, Agate. Silver.
Here's Lawrence to throw. That is incomplete.
They geared up and took the deep shot downfield, but it turned out it wasn't one-on-one coverage. Extra defenders in the area, and that one winds up incomplete.
13, Luke.
Now a 2nd and 10.
On red. Hey, I'm gun. Soga, hot. Silver.
Here's Lawrence. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
That's a big force incompletion there to bring up 3rd and long, and this defense can still salvage a little momentum by forcing them to kick a field goal, because just a few plays ago, they looked like they were headed towards the end zone.
So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break. And the Jets set to receive this 3rd quarter kickoff, and they have the lead as well as we are underway in the second half. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. Hey, Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought in the first half they didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Ball again. And he'll fight for a couple as the tackle is made at about the 32. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin too.
Third and 3.
Here we go. Cowboy 80.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 46. They'll give to Hall. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
It's a gain of 7. Brings up 2nd and 3.
They're going to look to throw. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. A good chance this is 4-down territory if they're unable to convert. But right now looking at a 3rd and 3. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's going to be a yard short. A 2-yard pickup leads to 4th and 1. In motion comes the tight end left. Back to throw. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. That one good for 17 yards on fourth. Couldn't ask for much more from your offense there. First down.
It's a gain of 17 yards. First down, New York.
And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. Here's 2nd and 7.
It's a pickup of 3. Brings up 2nd and 7.
19 Tiger, 19 Tiger.
Out of the gun, they run it with Hall. He will push his way down to about the 14. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right. He's pretty much been completely neutralized. This now a 3rd and 4. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And that is too far out in front of his intended target. Incomplete. Out is Jake Bates to try the field goal. Bates' kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further. Well, they picked up right where they left off in the first half. First drive after the break, they come away with 3 and increase that lead.
Yeah, and you just want to keep building on that lead, don't you? Whether it's 6 points or 3 points, take everything you can get, keep maneuvering, keep adding to it, keep making it difficult for them to come back.
The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And their deficit a little wider now than it was at halftime following the field goal a moment ago.
But the goal is still the same because you know they want to come out, establish a rhythm in the second half, and get going. Make no mistake about it, though. Kicking field goals, not in their game plan. They need to get the ball in the end zone.
Lisa 24. Here we go.
Hands it off out of the gun. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. That's a gain of 13 as they try to whittle away at this 13-point deficit.
Running lanes were in a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Let's go. Hey, tomato, tomato. Done. Here we go, son.
They go play action now. Lawrence to the right side and complete to Thomas. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down.
A couple of first downs right in succession, and this is an offense that can really use a good drive, and they're off to a fast start here.
Red on red. Hey, Soko, Sahad. Sahad.
From midfield now, Lawrence. A short throw pulled in by Woods. Now inside the 25. Touchdown, Jaguars. Baysha Tootin with touchdown number 20 on the year. And the Jaguars have cut it back within a score. Extra point splits the uprights. And the lead will shrink to 6. So the celebration in the end zone, but meanwhile we do have an injured player. So here comes the kickoff, and what now is just a one-score, 6-point game. And a returner down to a knee. This will come out to the 35-yard line. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. Still enjoying the lead here in the third quarter despite their defense. Hall has it knocked loose. Oh, it's out. Smith lost it. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble. And the defense not able to get it. From a defensive perspective, what's that moment like when you realize the ball is loose?
It is a moment where all concentration goes right to the football. This is something you've talked about in all your preparation.
The ball comes out. But it looks like one of the DBs has it. So turnovers, Charles, you figure will be key in the second half, and that's a big giveaway there.
Yeah, and as you and I both know, coaches are always preaching ball security, and none more often than right here in the second half of a tight football game. Now you've got to believe what the coaches are saying and take care of that football.
And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that, and thus far they've been successful.
Now Lawrence to throw. Now he's going to step up and run. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here, he throws it away, and now it's third.
Well, they approached this drive with a lot of confidence after their last one ended up as a touchdown. But incompletions on their first two throws has them huddling up and trying to figure out a big play here on third down to get their momentum going again.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
11, add that. Kill, turn up. Sink right.
Looking to throw, Lawrence. And that will be incomplete.
I think put just a little bit too much heat on that one. When you throw it to the outside, you do have to be careful because you got to keep it away from the defender. But you also have to give your own guy a chance, too. And I'm not sure if he got a little sloppy with his mechanics or just put too much juice on the snap. But either way, this one ends up out of the punter's reach. And now it's up to their defense to bail them out.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11.
11. Easy.
Lawrence. They'll try and set up the screen to Tootin. A good convergence there defensively, only a yard, and it's 2nd down.
Nice job by the defense figuring that play out and holding it to a short game, but I don't think the offense is going to be daunted. They actually accomplished their goal there. Now they've got them aware that they can throw a screen at them, maybe to slow the pass rush down a little bit, and they can throw it downfield.
Now 2nd and 9.
Rip, 23.
Now Lawrence. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number, not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense, they spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away at his timing.
Got his man, it's caught. Touchdown, Jaguars. Quentin Johnston, a 9-yard touchdown grab. And the Jaguars have tied the ball game with a chance to go ahead now in the final seconds of the 3rd quarter. Here's the Jaguar kick team now as they run up and send this one away. And he will be taken down here on the return on what will wind up being the final play of this 3rd quarter. 4th quarter coming up here on Thursday Night Primetime. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. We certainly have a good one on our hands. They're trailing after that last touchdown, but now a chance for this offense to try to snag that lead right back here in the 4th quarter. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. 17 yards for the Jets there as they've got themselves a 1st down.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know
This is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's second down.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass. Here's a quick throw caught by Smith. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. It'll go as a gain of 11 and a Jets first down.
That's a nice catch there. Remember, he had the fumble earlier. No way he was giving up the ball in that situation. Secured it tight to his body and picks up the first down.
Both teams working on short rest, but this has been one of the better Thursday night games we've seen as they come up here on 1st and 10. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. After the loss, they'll come up 2nd and 13.
Let's go now.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And this one complete to Smith. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 29-yard line. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
They'll look to throw now on first down. They'll set up the screen here to Mixon. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last two plays.
What a drive this has been, just chewing up the yardage. And here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
They'll look to throw here on first down. To the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete.
Partner, for once in my life, I'll be succinct. In a one-possession game, every single stop like that could be a difference maker.
Here's 2nd and 10.
18 Cardinal, 18 Cardinal.
A give running right is Hall. And he'll take this one down near the 15. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball in this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. It makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. Bates' kick is good. And they have taken the lead here in the 4th quarter. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And now they find themselves trailing following the field goal. Still a good amount of time in this 4th quarter, but this drive very well could determine the outcome of this ballgame. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
If you're a coach, you'll absolutely take that run every time on first down because it really sets you up to go in a number of directions here on 2nd.
Now Lawrence. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 16 yards that time on the pickup for the Jags and a first down.
And the Jaguars, first down.
11.
First and 10 at the 41-yard line.
From the gun, they'll try to run it. He had to fight that time. Ran through one tackle, but ultimately he's only going to get back to the line of scrimmage.
1 yard gain.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. He'll be taken down. The Jets get in there for the sack. Finally hauled down for the first time this game. Multiple defenders in there to drop him.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
What a kickoff to the week this has been. Now a big play. It's third down.
Hey, kill.
Lawrence will throw. Johnston hauls it in. And a big hit there. That was a man coming with bad intentions. And it's going to bring up fourth down. Haven't heard much from him all night, but welcome to the party, making his presence felt in a big way.
They've kept him under wraps all night long, but boy, did he find a great time to bust out.
Where will the pressure come from? 4th and 6 now.
Hey, easy. Zar, 11, Agate. 30 left.
Here we go. Got to have it. Lawrence. A hit as he throws, and this is going to be incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Jets are going to get the football here in great field position. They got to have two hands on the football here as they run on first down. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball. Well, now after all of this, hang on here because he appears to be shaken up. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. What do they have for this? 3rd and 11. He'll look to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
Bates' kick is good. Well, Charles, the NFL record is 66 yards. That was 5 shy of that, but only a handful of guys have ever connected from 61 or deeper, and he can add his name to the list.
Yeah, more and more guys are trying it. That doesn't mean the success rate has gone up. That is a long kick. Guaranteed, when he turns on his phone after the game, a ton of congratulatory texts will be awaiting him.
Here's 1st and 10. Back to throw. Lawrence. On the RPO, he'll keep it himself. And he just gets rid of it. Throws it away. The wise move there. Looked like nobody open. Now 2nd down.
Work with me, partner. Take a deep breath because that's what they're doing down the field now. That incompletion allowed them to exhale a little bit. Get in the huddle. Kind of scan the crowd, see if any celebrities are here. Relax a little bit as they start this big drive.
Here's second down.
Hey, I'm gun. Lisa 24. Here we go.
Here's Lawrence. Got his man, it's Woods. And he'll go down at the 26, following a gain of 6.
It's a gain of 6. Makes it.
Lawrence now going to move him around.
13, Lou. Take right open.
They'll look to throw. That is caught. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. Final minute, one timeout remaining. 1st and 10.
Jaguars. First down. 1st and 10.
Lawrence. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there. And it's second down.
Incomplete.
And let's face it, this defense has had its share of struggles all game long, and they know that they can put it all behind them if they defend well here in the 2-minute drill. Excellent coverage right there to force the incompletion.
They'll try again here. 2nd and 10.
Let's go. We're gonna do something. Hey, Soko, it's a hunt. 11.
Throwing now, Lawrence. Oh, and that's going to sabotage their comeback plans. It is intercepted. Picked up by Andre Sisco. And the Jets have just about sewn up this football game. The Jets, with victory seemingly in hand, they take the knee. So it's a victory here for the New York Jets, and they were spurred on by a strong performance in that 4th quarter as they held their opponents off the scoreboard.
Everyone wants to pitch a shutout for the entire game, but when you throw one in the 4th quarter, that tells everyone that you're getting stronger and dominance is starting to take over, right? The way that you close, the way that you finish, that gets